All right, welcome to our Friday special called Techbase, our weekly insert where we bring you everything that is digital, science-related, fourth industrial revolution. Remember, you can view our interviews on sabcnews.com, tweet us, #FullView, and you'll like this insert if you are into video games. Tonight, we're talking to pioneering indie game developer Cukia Kimani. He's originally from Kenya, but he co-owns an independent studio operating here in Johannesburg called Nyamakop. Nyamakop recently launched Semblance. Now, it's called a puzzle platformer video game. We were going to look at a promo, but we'll hear it from the horse's mouth. Let's discuss with Cukia Kimani via Skype. Thank you for joining us, Cukia. So tell us first what this is all about, a puzzle platformer video game.
Yes, so the game is essentially like, if many people probably know Mario, where you jump on platforms and stuff. So we've taken it and we've tried to rethink about the whole genre and say, what if the platforms themselves that you're landing on were like Play-Doh and they were soft and squishy and you could mold them? So what happens is that we give the player these tools and this landscape that they get to be creative themselves to solve puzzles into, if something is too high, why not just make the platform a bit higher, and then you can pick up the collectibles around the level.
So basically for us,
essential.
For us non-gaming people, you can basically change your world or change the little squishy man that you are in the game, so you can fit through things and get to the next level.
Yes, exactly.
So this was voted best indie game, but you're in a very competitive environment. How do you get attention for your game in a world where the giants are churning out games?
That's always a challenge, but I think just as the field is creative, we have to get creative with our marketing as well. So we try and make sure we attend a lot of consumer shows around the world, and actually throughout development, we have been traveling to places like Japan, Brazil, America, just to make sure people know. And then also having people like you and your team having us on your shows is what also helps us spread the word about our game that's been locally developed, and also that we're showing the game to the rest of the world. And I'll tell you a little tidbit is that even when we go to shows, we try to make things as interesting as possible. We got these stress balls that were made of the characters so that you could squish them and play with them. So it leaves with people who have just played the game at any consumer show something to remember and talk about after the show. Yeah, so it's tough, but we have the same channels like every other big guys.
So that's pretty cool. So tell us what sort of take-up you're seeing, what sort of sales you're seeing. How competitive is it to be a gaming developer in Johannesburg right now?
I would say that right now, I can't really talk about the finer actual numbers, but it's very positive. We're looking at a very good pickup, and this is starting to show that people are seeing the game that's being made. And we actually have a Discord channel where we have our fans that have been slowly filling up, and we've been getting to talk to fans. In fact, we had lucky opportunity that we had people who are streamers who play the game and stream it online for people to view. We have a few of them that are playing the game consistently and keep talking about the game. There's actually a subsection of these streamers called speedrunners. So our game is meant to be a 5-hour game, but they've been able to finish the game in 20 minutes, and they're always trying to do it faster. So you have different communities gathering around the game that is boosting sales, boosting the presence of the game, and it's only getting better.
So you've spoken before how you first played with a PlayStation, and this led to a passion, led to your career choice. Tell us about it.
Yes. So when I was 7 years old, my parents got me a PlayStation, and I remember putting it on, and I was marveled. I was absolutely marveled. I said, this is phenomenal. And I just remember looking at my mom like, someone does this? I want to do that. I want to be that guy that has taken me on adventures and quests and had me thinking and telling stories. I wanted to be part of that industry. And so growing up, I was told I needed to learn how to do programming. So luckily in schools in South Africa, you taught programming. So I learned programming. And from there, I eventually started making my own games and started finding people to collaborate with, like my co-founder, Ben Myers, and the rest of the team that made Semblance.
And is there usually somebody that focuses on the creatives, the design, and somebody that looks at the mechanics? Because there's a whole lot of professional skills involved here.
Yes. The game, I like to tell people the game industry is a multifaceted industry. Is that we have myself who has very technical skills, maths, etc. And then we also have our game designer, who's my co-founder, Ben Myers, who now sits and he's like, Sugar, can you make sure the platform can do this so I can design a level like that? And then we get to work with our artist who is in East London, Jean Roux, who now he creates the visuals, and we all have to put things together. And then finally we have the sound and music, which is also a very integral part of games that comes in and keeps helping to enhance the experience. The studio is Pressure Cooker Studios in Cape Town. So all these different disciplines come together, the technical, the creative, the art, the music, all comes together to tell a story and to entertain the player for a great experience.
So then could you help young people? What if somebody's interested? I mean, where do they start?
I would say the easiest thing to do is go into Google and say, how to make a game. That sounds ridiculous, but there's so many tools out there that are available from all the way to 7 years old. It doesn't matter. As long as you can type on a computer, you can get into it. And then if you want to take it further, there's tertiary education where we went to University of Wits, where they have a brilliant game design course. In fact, one of the first in the continent. And that's where we came out of. And they keep scaling up and they bring more lecturers from overseas. So this is an industry that is growing. And I think also places like Vega have courses now. And that's kind of where you would want to take it after you start it. But anyone can get online and start making small games. In fact, these days, you don't even need to have to go through the programming part. They've made it so easy. So it's a very good industry to get into in terms of creativeness. But there's also other sectors like education. It's like, how do you teach people through games? How do people interact with certain software? So there's lots of ways people can get into it.
Well, then finally, sell gaming to me, because you spoke about 5 hours playing a video game. Some parents would be alarmed at that. Maybe you should be reading. Maybe older people should be spending time with their families. Or can this be something good?
I think it's just like anything. I mean, TV is great too, but you can't be watching TV straight for 5 hours. It's all about moderation in my view. And I think that video games have been said that there's a lot of skills that people learn during video games, and that is like spatial reasoning that kids can go through. I mean, it's all a balance between what games you're playing, how long you're playing it, because there is educational material on TV, but there's also entertainment that can also suck up so much time. So kids, just play 30 minutes a day or of Semblance, but finish the game you want to. So it's just, it's a matter of moderation. And I think with anything that is fun and exciting, it can also go to its extremes that you're seeing sometimes.
All right. Well, I hope that your company will go from level to higher level to higher level. Thank you very much, video game developer Cukia Kimani, for us on Skype.